How to instantly see someone's true colors. Just look for these 5 signs. Stoic philosophy. You can tell a lot about a person by how they handle 3 things: a rainy day, lost luggage, and tangled Christmas lights. Maya Angelou. People are constantly revealing their true nature, not through grand gestures but in the smallest moments. How they react under pressure, how they treat those who can't offer them anything, and how they respond when things don't go their way. The truth is, most people don't wear their real selves on the surface. They reveal their character over time, sometimes subtly, sometimes all at once. But what if you could see through the illusion much sooner? What if you could instantly recognize someone's true colors before they have a chance to fool you? This video will explore the 5 key signs that expose a person's authentic nature, using the wisdom of modern Stoicism to guide us. The Stoics understood human behavior better than most, because they focused not on words, but on actions. And once you learn these Stoic secrets, you'll never be deceived by appearances again. Whether it's a friend, a partner, or a colleague, the way they react in certain situations will tell you everything you need to know. Welcome to Stoic in Your Life, where we apply timeless Stoic wisdom to everyday challenges. Let's dive in. 5 signs to see through a person's nature. Number 1. Their reaction to your success. When you succeed, the world around you reveals its true nature, not just in how circumstances shift, but in the way people react to your rise. Success is more than an achievement. It is a mirror that reflects the authenticity of those in your life, exposing who truly supports you and who merely tolerates you. Pay close attention. Some will cheer with genuine enthusiasm, uplifted by your progress, inspired by your dedication. These people see your success as a testament to what is possible, proof that hard work and perseverance pay off. Others, however, may shrink in your presence, their smiles forced, their words carefully chosen to conceal envy or discomfort. They may nod politely, but you can sense the tension in their energy. Have you ever shared good news with someone only to feel an unspoken shift in the air? Instead of celebrating with you, they downplay your success, dismiss it as luck, or quickly turn the conversation back to their own struggles. This reaction speaks volumes, not about you, but about them. It reveals their insecurities, their unspoken fears of inadequacy, and the invisible walls they have built within their own minds. Seneca once said, "It is not the man who has too little, but the man who craves more, that is poor." True poverty is not a lack of material wealth, but a mindset that views another person's success as a personal threat rather than an inspiration. When you achieve something great, ask yourself, who truly celebrates with you? Who claps when you win, not because they expect something in return, but because your happiness brings them joy? A person who can sincerely rejoice in your victories even while facing their own struggles is a rare and valuable friend. Their joy is pure, untainted by comparison or resentment. On the other hand, beware of those whose support is conditional, whose encouragement fades the moment your success surpasses theirs. These people may smile to your face but secretly resent your achievements, seeing them as a painful reminder of what they have yet to accomplish. Modern Stoicism teaches us that our sense of self-worth should never be dependent on the approval of others, but that does not mean we should ignore reality. If someone cannot celebrate your success, can they truly be in your corner? Perhaps their reaction is not a deliberate act of malice, but rather a reflection of their own internal struggles. Yet it is not your responsibility to fix them. Your duty is to observe, to understand, and to decide who deserves a place in your inner circle. People reveal their true nature not in moments of hardship, but in moments of another's success. Marcus Aurelius reminds us, the happiness of your life depends upon the quality of your thoughts. And I would argue that it also depends on the quality of the people you surround yourself with. Consider this. If the roles were reversed, how would you respond? Would you let bitterness creep into your heart? Or would you celebrate with an open spirit? The way we react to another's success says just as much about us as their reaction does about them. So the next time you achieve something meaningful, watch closely. The truth about the people around you is not always spoken. It is revealed in their actions, in their energy, in the subtle ways they respond to your success. And in that moment, you will see who truly walks beside you and who merely lingers in the shadows of your achievements. Let success be the test that reveals the loyalty, integrity, and true character of those around you. Number 2, observe how they handle power. Power reveals the soul like a torch in the darkness. It does not change a person, but magnifies what is already within them. As the Stoic philosopher Epictetus once said, "Circumstances don't make the man, they only reveal him to himself." When someone attains power, be it in the form of a leadership role, financial success, or influence over a group, their true nature emerges. A person of integrity will use their authority to serve, uplift, and guide others with fairness and wisdom. They do not see power as a tool for self-glorification, but as a responsibility to uphold. On the other hand, those who crave dominance will exploit power, using it as a means to control, belittle, or manipulate. If you wish to see someone's true colors, observe how they treat those beneath them. Do they extend kindness, or do they revel in superiority? A leader who values others fosters respect, while one who wields power to feed their ego will soon find themselves surrounded by resentment. This is why the Stoic Marcus Aurelius, an emperor yet a humble philosopher, reminded himself daily to stay grounded, writing in Meditations. Waste no more time arguing what a good man should be. Be one. True leaders do not need to assert their dominance. They naturally command respect through their character and actions. But many fall into the illusion that power makes them untouchable, and their once hidden insecurities surface through arrogance or cruelty. Think of how some people change once they gain a little authority. A promotion at work, a sudden rise in social status, or even a temporary advantage in a discussion. If their first instinct is to boast, condescend, or demand control, that is, a reflection of their true self. The secret to understanding people lies in how they respond to power. Do they share it, or do they hoard it? Do they lift others, or do they push them down? Stoic secrets teach us that a wise person remains the same whether they hold power or not, unmoved by external status. But those whose kindness is merely a mask will soon reveal their real nature when given authority. Pay attention to how someone treats those who cannot retaliate. The waiter, the employee, the stranger who has nothing to offer. This is where their soul is unguarded. If they show respect and fairness even when no one is watching, you are in the presence of a person of true character. But if they seek to dominate when given the chance, they were never truly kind to begin with, just waiting for an opportunity to show their superiority. In modern life, this lesson is everywhere. You see it in the workplace, where some bosses create an environment of respect while others rule by fear. You see it in relationships where some partners empower each other while others control and suppress. You see it in everyday encounters. How someone treats a janitor, a cashier, or a stranger on the street says far more about them than their words ever will. You must always remember power doesn't corrupt, it reveals. And if you learn to watch carefully, you will never be deceived by appearances again. Number 3. Watch how they deal with stress. Stress reveals a person's true nature, just as fire refines gold by burning away impurities. When life applies pressure, when deadlines loom, when conflicts arise, when everything seems to be falling apart, the carefully crafted masks that people wear slip away, leaving only their raw, unfiltered selves. It is in these moments when the weight of responsibility, uncertainty, or failure bears down. that you truly see who someone is at their core. A person who is emotionally mature and self-disciplined will remain composed, focusing on solutions, rather than being consumed by problems. They will not lash out in frustration or seek to bring others down with them. Instead, they demonstrate resilience, wisdom, and control, taking ownership of their actions and emotions, even in the most challenging situations. This is a mark of inner strength, the kind that no external crisis can shake. On the other hand, those who lack emotional discipline react impulsively. Stress becomes a magnifying glass, enlarging their worst traits and revealing weaknesses they usually keep hidden. They may become irritable, reckless, or even cruel, letting frustration dictate their behavior. They blame others, lash out at innocent bystanders, or sink into self-pity and bitterness. This pattern of behavior is a clear indicator of their true nature. The way someone treats others when under pressure, whether they remain respectful and fair, or whether they let their inner turmoil spill onto those around them, tells you everything you need to know about their character. As Marcus Aurelius reminds us, you have power over your mind, not outside events. Realize this, and you will find strength. A person's reaction to stress is not just about how they handle a single, difficult situation. It is a reflection of their overall mindset, their values, and their ability to face life's inevitable struggles. If you want to understand the people around you, friends, colleagues, partners, observe how they behave when things don't go their way. Do they remain accountable, taking responsibility for their actions and striving to improve? Or do they crumble, blaming others and spreading negativity? This distinction matters more than words or appearances because stress peels away pretenses, exposing the truth underneath. Someone who can remain calm and collected under pressure, treating others with respect even in difficulty, is someone you can rely on when life gets tough. But if a person turns harsh, vindictive, or manipulative in their worst moments, that is a red flag you cannot afford to ignore. This lesson applies to us as well. Just as we assess others by their behavior under stress, we must also look inward. When faced with adversity, do we stand firm, control our emotions, and respond with wisdom? Or do we allow frustration to take over, losing ourselves in anger or despair? Modern Stoicism teaches us not to seek a life free from stress, but to train ourselves to handle it with grace. Seneca wisely said, "Difficulties strengthen the mind, as labor does the body." Every stressful situation is an opportunity to refine our character, to practice patience, resilience, and self-discipline. This is why stress is such a revealing force. It does not change people. It simply shows them for who they really are. So the next time you want to see someone's true colors, don't listen to their words. Watch how they act when pressure mounts, because in those moments the truth is impossible to hide. If you've made it this far, it's clear that you value deep insight and self-awareness. Now I want to hear from you. In the comments, let me know your thoughts by saying, "Strength is revealed under pressure." Do you agree that stress brings out a person's true nature? Have you ever been surprised by how someone reacted in a tough situation? Let's keep the conversation going and continue learning together. More eye-opening content on modern Stoicism and Stoic secrets is on the way, so stay tuned. Number 4. Observe their response to no. If you really want to understand someone's character, just pay attention to how they respond when you say the word no. It's a short, simple word, just 2 letters. But the way people react to it can tell you everything you need to know about who they truly are. Those who respect you, your time, and your choices will accept your refusal with grace. They won't demand an explanation or try to make you feel guilty. They understand that setting boundaries is not an act of rejection but a way to create mutual respect. They know that saying no is not about shutting people out. It's about maintaining balance in relationships. But then there are those who see no as a threat, a challenge to overcome, an obstacle they must break through to get their way. These are the people who will try to guilt trip you, who will act disappointed or make you feel like you're being selfish. Some will disguise their frustration through passive-aggressive remarks, silent treatment, or backhanded compliments. Others will lash out in anger, as if your refusal is an act of personal betrayal. This is where people's true colors come to light, not when everything is going smoothly, but when they are faced with resistance. How someone reacts when you stand firm tells you more about them than anything they could ever say. I remember a time when I thought I had a good friend, someone who always seemed kind and generous. But one day he asked to borrow money. It wasn't a small amount, and I wasn't comfortable lending it. When I said no, the shift was immediate. His warm demeanor turned cold, his friendly words became sharp. He accused me of being selfish, of not caring about our friendship. In that moment, I realized something important. It was never about friendship to him. It was about control. He didn't value me as a person. He valued what I could offer him. And when I stopped giving, he no longer had a reason to pretend. Have you ever had an experience like this? Have you ever seen someone change the moment they realized they couldn't use you? These are the moments that show you who people truly are. When you start recognizing these behaviors, you gain a powerful skill: the ability to protect your peace and prioritize your own well-being. One of the greatest Stoic secrets to living with a strong mind is understanding that you are not responsible for how others react to your boundaries. Your only responsibility is to uphold your principles and stay true to your values. If someone cannot accept your limits without trying to manipulate or punish you, that's a reflection of their character, not yours. The Stoic philosopher Epictetus once said, "No person is free who is not master of themselves." True freedom is standing firm in your values, unshaken by the expectations and pressures of others. If you constantly sacrifice your own needs just to avoid conflict, you are not truly living for yourself. You are living for the approval of people who may not even respect you. So take a moment and think, how do the people in your life react when you say no? Do they respect your boundaries, or do they try to push against them, revealing a sense of entitlement? The ability to set limits is not selfish. It is a necessary act of self-respect. You deserve relationships where your autonomy is honored, where your choices are accepted without question. And if someone continually disregards your boundaries, it may be time to reconsider their place in your life. The true Stoic secrets to inner peace lie in understanding that real strength is not found in trying to please everyone, but in having the courage to stay true to yourself, even when it means disappointing others. Number 5. Watch how they treat service workers. How do you truly know who someone is at their core? One of the simplest yet most revealing tests of character is how a person treats those in service roles: waiters, cashiers, janitors, or anyone in a position where they hold no power over them. It's easy to be kind to a boss or to someone who can offer opportunities, but the real measure of a person lies in how they treat those who seemingly have nothing to offer in return. Have you ever been out with someone who suddenly becomes impatient with a waiter over a small mistake, snapping their fingers or raising their voice over something as trivial as the wrong drink order? Or maybe you've noticed the opposite, someone who goes out of their way to be polite, acknowledging the service worker as a fellow human being rather than just part of the background. This difference speaks volumes. People who show genuine respect and kindness to service workers, especially when they don't have to, demonstrate humility, emotional intelligence, and a deep understanding of human dignity. On the other hand, those who belittle or mistreat them reveal something darker: an inflated ego, a lack of empathy, or perhaps an underlying insecurity that manifests in the need to exert dominance over someone they perceive as beneath them. If you want to see who someone really is, watch how they act when there's nothing to gain. Modern Stoicism teaches us that virtue, humility, and self-control are the foundation of a good life, and these qualities are most evident in moments when emotions are tested. When you see someone lose their temper at a cashier for a long line, or roll their eyes at a janitor for simply doing their job, You have a glimpse into the type of person they are when the mask drops. And that's the thing. How we behave when we think no one is watching says more about us than any words ever could. It's in these small, seemingly insignificant moments that our real nature is revealed. Kindness in these instances isn't about impressing others. It's about recognizing that every human being, regardless of their job or social standing, deserves respect. But let's take it a step further. What does your own behavior say about you? Have you ever had a bad day and let frustration get the better of you when interacting with a service worker? If so, what did that moment teach you about yourself? The key is awareness. Seneca reminds us, wherever there is a human being, there is an opportunity for kindness. This means that in every interaction, no matter how brief or seemingly insignificant, we have a choice. We can choose to bring warmth and dignity into the world, or we can contribute to the cold indifference that so many suffer from. If someone is rude to a service worker, dismissive or entitled, what do you think that means for how they'll treat you when things don't go their way? When stress, hardship, or conflict arises in your relationship with them, how do you think they will respond? These small clues are warning signs, ones we should never ignore. So the next time you're out with someone, watch closely. Do they make eye contact with the person taking their order? Do they say, "Thank you," or simply expect service as if it's owed to them? Do they acknowledge the humanity of the person helping them, or do they treat them as invisible? These are the questions that reveal a person's true nature. Modern Stoicism teaches us to be mindful of not only our own actions, but of the character of those we choose to surround ourselves with. Because at the end of the day, how a person treats those who can do nothing for them isn't just a reflection of who they are, it's a preview of how they'll treat you when the circumstances change. And when that moment comes, you won't have to wonder anymore. You'll already have seen their true colors. We've just covered 5 key signs that reveal a person's true nature: how they react to success, handle power, deal with stress, respond to rejection, and treat service workers can speak volumes about who they really are. But there's more to uncover. Some of the most telling signs are hidden in subtle behaviors and personal interactions. Let's dive deeper in the next section. Additional insights on understanding people's true nature. A person's true nature isn't just revealed in public situations. It also shows up in their private moments and how they treat the people closest to them. To get a more complete picture, we need to observe additional behaviors that go beyond the obvious. So, what other signs can help us truly understand someone? Let's find out. Number 1. See how they treat family and friends. If you truly want to see someone's real nature, look at how they treat the people closest to them, the ones they have nothing to prove to, no need to impress, and no incentive to be on their best behavior for. As the Stoic philosopher Seneca wisely said, "A man's true character comes out when he is drunk, in love, or angry." And I would add, when he is around his family and close friends. These relationships serve as a window into a person's soul, revealing their patience, kindness, and integrity, or lack thereof. Someone who consistently supports their family in tough times, who listens with genuine concern, who makes an effort to be present in the lives of their loved ones, shows a depth of character that is unlikely to be an act. You can see it in the little things, the way they speak to their parents, whether they show appreciation to their siblings, how they treat old friends when they no longer need them. A person who speaks highly of their family in public but is indifferent, dismissive, or even cruel behind closed doors is revealing a different truth. Their kindness is conditional, their respect performative. If they only extend warmth when they stand to gain from it, they will likely treat everyone else the same way once the mask slips. This is why the Stoics emphasized consistency in character. Virtue isn't something you turn on and off depending on the audience. It must be who you are at all times. Marcus Aurelius reminded himself, "The best revenge is to be unlike him who performed the injury." Meaning, True goodness does not depend on who is watching, nor does it shift based on convenience. Iffy. You want to know if someone is truly kind? Don't look at how they treat strangers in fleeting moments. Look at how they treat those they see every day, the ones they have no reason to pretend for. Do they speak with patience, or do they snap at minor inconveniences? Do they make time for loved ones, or do they dismiss them when they are no longer useful? Do they honor their commitments to family and friends, or do they only show up when there is something in it for them? The answers to these questions reveal everything. This lesson is crucial in modern life. You see people in social settings who are all charm and grace, yet behind closed doors they belittle their spouse, ignore their parents, or treat old friends like burdens. It happens in business, where a leader may inspire loyalty in public, but neglect the very people who help them succeed. It happens in relationships, where someone may pour affection onto a new partner while leaving their longtime friends behind. Pay attention. Stoic secrets teach us that true virtue is not selective, it is consistent. A good person is good not because it benefits them, but because it is their nature. If you see someone who only treats people well when it serves their image but neglects or disrespects those closest to them, you are not witnessing kindness, you are witnessing performance. And once you recognize this, you will never be fooled by empty words again. Number 2. Watch how they handle failure. Failure is an unavoidable aspect of life, an experience that every person will face at some point, and the way someone responds to it is a window into their true character. A person who embraces failure with humility and resilience demonstrates strength, emotional maturity, and a willingness to grow. They do not allow setbacks to define them, but instead use them as stepping stones toward improvement. You can recognize this type of person by their ability to acknowledge their mistakes openly, take responsibility, and focus on finding solutions, rather than dwelling on blame or excuses. A colleague who admits when they've made an error and immediately works to correct it is someone with integrity, someone who values personal and professional growth over preserving a fragile ego. On the other hand, those who respond to failure with denial, deflection, or blame shifting reveal a fundamental weakness in character. They may refuse to acknowledge their role in a mistake, pointing fingers at others or crafting excuses to shield themselves from accountability. This behavior signals a lack of self-awareness and an unwillingness to learn, which can lead to stagnation, repeated mistakes, and ultimately, a pattern of failure that becomes difficult to escape. Modern Stoicism teaches us that failure is not something to be feared, but something to be embraced as a teacher. Life will test you and setbacks will come, but your ability to reflect, adapt, and move forward will determine whether you grow or remain stuck. Pay close attention to how people react when things don't go their way. Do they remain composed and analytical, searching for ways to improve? Or do they lash out, complain, or pretend that failure is always someone else's fault? This distinction matters in every aspect of life, from friendships to professional relationships to personal development. A person who can withstand failure with grace is someone who can be trusted, someone who will remain steadfast even when life becomes difficult. This principle is just as relevant in our own self-reflection. How do you handle failure? Do you accept it as a lesson, analyze what went wrong, and strive to do better? Or do you let pride get in the way, refusing to acknowledge mistakes and blaming circumstances or other people? Modern Stoicism urges us to take complete ownership of our actions and view failure as an opportunity rather than a setback. The greatest minds in history, leaders, inventors, and philosophers, achieved success not by avoiding failure, but by learning from it. Thomas Edison, after failing thousands of times before inventing the light bulb, famously said, "I have not failed. I've just found 10,000 ways that won't work." If failure is inevitable, then growth must be intentional. Every misstep is an opportunity to forge character, build resilience, and develop the wisdom that only comes from experience. The next time you witness someone experiencing failure, watch carefully, not for the mistake itself, but for their response to it. In that moment, you will see their true nature laid bare. And when you face failure yourself, remember that your reaction is a reflection of who you are becoming. Will you let it break you, or will you use it to become stronger, wiser, and more prepared for the challenges ahead? Number 3. Observe their patience and forgiveness. If you really want to see someone's true colors, pay close attention to how they handle patience and forgiveness. These two qualities reveal more about a person's emotional intelligence than any words ever could. Think about it. When someone forgives easily, when they let go of minor mistakes without resentment, they show that they value the relationship more than their ego. They don't waste time keeping score or holding on to grudges. Instead, they focus on moving forward. Patience works the same way. When a person remains calm in difficult situations, when they take the time to understand rather than rush to judgment, they prove they are open-minded and emotionally mature. But not everyone has this strength. Some people are quick to anger, quick to take offense, and even quicker to cut others off over the smallest mistakes. They hold on to resentment like a badge of honor, as if refusing to forgive makes them stronger. In reality, it only makes them a prisoner of their own emotions. I once had a colleague who seemed like the perfect friend until I made a minor mistake. It wasn't intentional, and I apologized immediately. But instead of accepting it, he turned cold, distant, and bitter. Days turned into weeks, and I could feel the shift. He stopped making eye contact, stopped returning my messages, and when I finally confronted him, his response was simple. I don't forgive easily. That's when I understood. His pride mattered more to him than the friendship itself. Have you ever met someone like this? Someone who clings to anger as if it gives them power? These are the people who struggle to build deep, lasting relationships because they view every mistake as a betrayal rather than a moment for understanding. The Stoic secrets to strong relationships teach us that true strength is not in how long you can hold a grudge, but in how quickly you can let it go. Marcus Aurelius once said, "The best revenge is not to be like your enemy." When you choose patience over frustration, when you choose to forgive instead of retaliate, you free yourself from unnecessary suffering. Holding on to anger only drains your energy, while letting go allows you to move forward with peace. But here's something important. There's a difference between forgiveness and allowing repeated disrespect. Forgiving doesn't mean tolerating toxic behavior. It means releasing the anger so that it doesn't consume you, but also setting boundaries to protect yourself. So ask yourself, how do the people around you handle mistakes? Do they choose patience and understanding, or do they let their ego take control? Pay attention to this, because it will tell you everything you need to know about their character. The Stoic secrets to inner peace remind us that we are only in control of our own emotions. We cannot force someone to be patient. We cannot make them forgive. But we can choose to surround ourselves with those who value connection over conflict, who see mistakes as opportunities to grow rather than reasons to cut people off. In the end, the way someone handles patience and forgiveness doesn't just reveal who they are, it also determines the kind of life they will lead. Number 4. Notice how they treat those with less power. One of the clearest ways to see someone's true colors is to observe how they treat those who hold no power over them. When a person interacts with someone in a vulnerable position, whether it's a service worker, a stranger in need, or someone who can do nothing for them in return, their reaction is a direct reflection of their character. Have you ever been around someone who is excessively polite to their boss but dismissive or even rude to a janitor? Or maybe you've seen the opposite, someone who treats every person with the same level of respect, regardless of social status. These Small interactions, often overlooked, reveal everything about a person's core values. True strength is not in dominance, but in humility. A person who acknowledges and respects everyone, regardless of power or privilege, demonstrates emotional intelligence, self-awareness, and a genuine sense of humanity. But when someone belittles or ignores those in weaker positions, they are exposing their own insecurities, using status as a shield, as if treating others poorly somehow elevates them. Marcus Aurelius, a key figure in Stoic philosophy, once wrote, "Waste no more time arguing about what a good man should be one." And that is the essence of modern Stoicism. Actions over words, character over reputation. Anyone can pretend to be kind when there is something to gain, but what happens when kindness becomes inconvenient? If someone is only generous when they're being watched or only respectful when there's a reward, their so-called virtue is nothing more than a mask. A person who helps someone struggling, who offers a kind word without expectation, who acknowledges the humanity in every individual they meet, that is someone whose character runs deep. On the other hand, those who ignore, mistreat, or exploit those in weaker positions often reveal a dangerous pattern. They value people based on what they can gain from them. And if that is how they see the world, then ask yourself, what happens when you no longer serve a purpose in their life? How will they treat you when they no longer need you? This is why it's crucial to pay attention to the seemingly small moments. How does someone react when a stranger asks for help? Do they make excuses, avert their gaze, or pretend not to hear? Or do they stop even for a moment to offer kindness? Do they show appreciation for those who work behind the scenes, or do they treat them as invisible? These behaviors may seem minor, but they are signs of whether someone leads with empathy or entitlement, with integrity or self-interest. The practice of modern Stoicism teaches us not to be fooled by surface-level charm or empty gestures. True character is revealed not in grand moments but in everyday interactions. And I believe this to be one of the simplest yet most profound truths. How we treat others, especially those who cannot benefit us, defines who we are. So the next time you are with someone, watch closely. Do they say thank you to the cashier? Do they acknowledge the janitor? Do they speak with respect to those in lesser positions, or do they act as if they are above them? These moments, fleeting as they may be, are glimpses into a person's soul. And if someone fails this test, if they cannot show basic decency to those without power, what does that tell you about the way they might treat you when the situation shifts? Pay attention, because character is not built in moments of success or when the world is watching. It is revealed in the moments when no one is. And in those moments, you will see exactly who someone really is. If you've ever witnessed someone reveal their true character by how they treated those with less power, share your insight in the comments. Type "true character is revealed in small moments" below to remind others that real integrity isn't about status. It's about how we treat everyone, especially when there's nothing to gain. Your perspective could help someone recognize the signs of true and false character, guiding them toward more meaningful and respectful relationships. Let's spread the wisdom of modern Stoicism and uncover the Stoic secrets hidden in everyday interactions. Number 5. See how they react to boundaries. A person's true character is not revealed in moments of comfort, but in moments of resistance. When they don't get their way, when their expectations aren't met, or when they encounter a boundary they cannot cross. As Epictetus wisely stated, no man is free who is not master of himself. And what is self-mastery, if not the ability to assert your needs without fear, to say no without guilt, and to protect your energy without explanation? The way someone reacts to your boundaries is a direct reflection of their respect for you. If they honor your choices even when they may not like them, they see you as an individual with equal rights to autonomy. But if they resist, question, or guilt-trip you for maintaining your personal limits, they are not respecting you. They are trying to control you. It is in these moments that you see who they truly are. Some will accept your decisions with grace, while others will push, manipulate, or even punish you for standing your ground. Their reaction is their revelation. The moment you establish a limit, you shift the balance of power in a relationship. It becomes clear whether the other person is willing to respect your dignity or whether they see you only as an extension of their desires. This happens everywhere in life. A friend who gets upset when you don't drop everything for them. A family member who acts cold when you refuse to meet their unreasonable expectations. A boss who subtly pressures you to work beyond your limits. A partner who takes offense when you ask for space. These are not small, meaningless reactions. They are glimpses into how people perceive and value you. Those who genuinely care will understand that your well-being matters, even when it inconveniences them. Those who don't will make your boundaries feel like an attack. They will frame your self-respect as selfishness. But here's the truth. People who truly love and respect you will never require you to sacrifice yourself for their comfort. In modern life, boundaries are often seen as obstacles, especially by those who have grown used to taking without asking. Many confuse love and friendship with endless availability and self-sacrifice. But Stoic secrets remind us that genuine relationships are built on mutual respect, not obligation. If someone reacts negatively to your no, it's not because you've done something wrong, it's because they are upset that they can no longer benefit from your lack of boundaries. This is why paying attention to their reaction is crucial. Do they listen and respect your decision, or do they push until they get their way? Do they make space for your needs, or do they make you feel guilty for prioritizing yourself? Their response is their truth, and once you see it, you cannot unsee it. The way someone reacts to your boundaries tells you everything you need to know about them. It is one of life's greatest tests of character, one that reveals who truly respects you and who only values you for what you can give. And the more you learn to set limits with confidence, the more you will see the truth about the people around you. The question is, will you have the courage to accept what you see? Number 6. Watch how they take criticism. Criticism is one of the most revealing tests of character because it strips away ego and exposes a person's true nature. When things are going well, anyone can appear composed, but the moment their flaws are pointed out, their reaction tells you everything you need to know. As the Stoic philosopher Epictetus once said, if someone succeeds in provoking you, realize that your mind is complicit in the provocation. A person who receives criticism with an open mind, acknowledging their shortcomings without defensiveness, demonstrates emotional intelligence, humility, and a commitment to growth. They do not see feedback as a personal attack, but rather as a chance to improve. Take, for instance, a colleague who, when told their work needs refinement, responds with gratitude for the insight and a willingness to adjust. This person is not only self-aware, but also values progress over pride. On the other hand, those who react with anger, denial, or deflection are revealing deeper insecurities. They may perceive criticism as a threat to their identity rather than a tool for learning. Their defensiveness often masks an unwillingness to change, an avoidance of personal responsibility, or even an inflated ego that refuses to acknowledge imperfections. If someone consistently refuses feedback, dismissing it outright or attacking the messenger, they are choosing stagnation over self-improvement. Modern Stoicism teaches us that our reaction to criticism is a reflection of our inner discipline. Marcus Aurelius reminds us, you shouldn't give circumstances the power to rouse anger, for they don't care at all. When we allow criticism to upset us, it is not the words themselves that hurt, but our interpretation of them. Those with a fixed mindset see criticism as an attack on their worth, while those with a growth mindset recognize it as an opportunity to become better. You can tell a lot about a person by the way they handle feedback, whether they listen attentively, consider the perspective offered and use it to refine their actions, or whether they lash out, belittle the critic, or become consumed by resentment. This distinction is crucial in both personal and professional relationships. A friend or partner who can handle constructive feedback with grace is likely to be emotionally mature, understanding, and adaptable. But someone who reacts with hostility or complete dismissal might struggle with self-awareness and personal accountability. The way a person receives criticism also speaks volumes about their respect for others. Those who value growth will listen and reflect, even if the feedback is difficult to hear, while those who lack respect may cut off conversations, resort to passive aggressiveness, or seek validation only from those who praise them. This lesson extends to our own lives as well. How do you handle criticism? Do you instantly feel defensive, or do you pause to consider whether there's truth in what's being said? Modern Stoicism encourages us to detach our emotions from feedback, viewing it as neither praise nor insult, but simply information to be processed with reason. No one is perfect, and the ability to accept criticism with humility is a powerful sign of strength. The greatest minds and leaders in history did not rise to greatness by rejecting feedback, but by embracing it. Socrates, one of the wisest philosophers, believed that the key to growth was acknowledging one's ignorance and always seeking to improve. If you want to understand someone's true colors, observe their reaction when they are criticized. Do they welcome the chance to improve, or do they build walls of denial and excuses? And when you are on the receiving end of criticism, remember that your reaction is a reflection of your own personal growth. Will you let pride hold you back? Or will you use feedback as fuel to sharpen your character and refine your wisdom? Number 7. Observe their empathy. If you truly want to understand someone's character, observe their empathy. It's one of the most revealing traits a person can have. Not just the ability to understand someone else's emotions, but the willingness to care and act when it matters. Genuine empathy is about more than just words. It's about presence, about showing up when someone needs you, even when there's nothing in it for you. Think about the people in your life who listens without judgment, who offers support not because they have to, but because they genuinely care. These are the people who carry true emotional depth. On the other hand, there are those who dismiss others' feelings, who remain indifferent to pain that doesn't directly affect them. They may offer polite words, but little real action. Or worse, they may see vulnerability as weakness and avoid emotional connection altogether. A friend who ignores your struggles, who brushes off your concerns with a casual, "You'll be fine," rather than offering a listening ear, is showing you exactly where you stand in their priorities. I once worked with someone who on the surface appeared kind and engaging, but over time I noticed something. Whenever a coworker faced a challenge, whether personal or professional, he remained detached. He would nod when someone shared a difficulty but never follow up, never offer help, never show any sign that he truly cared. One day when I was going through something difficult, I decided to test this. I opened up slightly, expecting at least a bit of concern. His response? A quick change of subject, as if my words were an inconvenience. That moment told me everything I needed to know. Have you ever encountered someone like that? Someone who hears you but never truly listens? Someone who only engages when it benefits them? The Stoic secrets to understanding human nature teach us that empathy is not just a sign of kindness, but a measure of someone's capacity to form real, meaningful connections. Marcus Aurelius once said, "What injures the hive injures the bee." We are all interconnected, and those who fail to recognize that, those who refuse to see the struggles of others as worthy of their concern, will always struggle to build deep, lasting relationships. But empathy is more than just a moral virtue. It is also a sign of strength. It takes courage to feel deeply, to sit with someone else's pain without turning away. Those who lack empathy are often not as strong as they appear. They are avoiding connection because it requires emotional effort. And here's the truth. If someone cannot extend kindness when it costs them nothing, they will certainly not be there when it truly matters. So ask yourself, How do the people in your life respond to the emotions of others? Do they listen, care, and take action? Or do they remain indifferent and distant? The Stoic secrets to emotional resilience remind us that while we cannot force others to be empathetic, we can choose who we keep close. Surround yourself with those who see you, who hear you, who care not because they have to, but because that is who they are. Empathy isn't just a trait. It's proof of a person's ability to love, to connect, and to walk through life with purpose and understanding. And in the end, those are the people who truly matter. We've expanded our perspective on understanding people. How they treat family, handle failure, show patience, accept criticism, and react to boundaries all provide deeper insights into their true character. But identifying someone's nature is just one part of the journey. The real challenge is applying this knowledge to build meaningful and authentic relationships. Let's explore how to do just that in the final section. Final thoughts on meaningful relationships. Recognizing a person's true nature allows us to make better choices in relationships. But how do we use this awareness wisely? How can we foster genuine connections and avoid toxic relationships? Let's move on to the final section to find out. Number 1. The value of true nature in relationships. If you want to truly understand someone's character, you don't need years of interaction or dramatic moments of revelation. Just pay attention to the everyday details. A person's true nature isn't revealed in their words but in their consistent actions, especially when life challenges them. It's easy to be kind when things go smoothly, but how do they act when things go wrong? In a world full of illusions, learning to recognize authenticity is a skill that protects you from betrayal, disappointment, and wasted time. How does someone respond when you succeed? Do they celebrate with you sincerely, or do you sense hidden resentment behind their smile? Do they uplift or subtly undermine you? As Marcus Aurelius said, "The soul becomes dyed with the color of its thoughts." The way someone reacts to your victories tells you whether they see you as a friend or a competitor. Also, pay attention to how they speak about others in private, because one day they'll speak about you the same way. A person who constantly criticizes and gossips about others will eventually turn that negativity toward you. On the other hand, those who uplift and defend others in their absence are the kind of people you can trust. True character is also revealed in how someone treats those who can do nothing for them, the waiter, the janitor, the stranger on the street. If kindness is selective, it isn't genuine, it's strategy. Seneca reminds us, "A gem cannot be polished without friction, nor a man perfected without trials." Power and adversity expose a person's true self. Give someone authority, and you'll see if they use it to uplift others or to feed their ego. Take away their comfort, and you'll see whether they respond with grace or bitterness. Hardships don't change people, they reveal what was already inside them. If someone only treats you well when they need something but disappears when times are tough, they were never truly there for you. Relationships, whether friendships, family bonds, or romantic connections, should be built on trust, mutual respect, and shared values. But not everyone is capable of offering that, and that's okay. Modern Stoicism teaches us the power of detachment, not as indifference, but as the wisdom to let go of relationships that drain our energy, betray our trust, or make us question our worth. Some people are not meant to stay in your life forever, and accepting that truth is essential for your growth. Ask yourself, do the people in my life make me better or weigh me down? Do their actions match their words? Am I holding on to relationships out of fear, guilt, or obligation? It takes strength to walk away, but true peace comes from surrounding yourself with those who inspire and support you. Epictetus reminds us, the key is to keep company only with people who uplift you, whose presence calls forth your best. So start observing. Look beyond charm and charisma. Pay attention to the subtle signs, the small moments, the way they act when no one is watching, because that's when the truth comes out. The question is, are you ready to see it? Number 2. Self-awareness and understanding others. Self-awareness is one of the most powerful tools for understanding others. The way you see the world reflects your inner self, and without clarity within, it's easy to misjudge people. As Socrates said, "Know thyself." If you don't recognize your own emotions, biases, and insecurities, you might mistake manipulation for kindness or indifference for confidence. The better you understand yourself, your values, needs, and boundaries, the easier it becomes to assess whether someone aligns with who you want to be. One of the greatest Stoic secrets is that clarity in thought leads to clarity in judgment, helping you avoid toxic relationships. By mastering them, you can observe others without being misled by personal biases. How you react to people reveals your level of self-awareness. Do you make excuses for someone's bad behavior? Do you tolerate disrespect because you fear being alone? If so, your own insecurities might be blinding you to the truth. The key is to observe without emotional distortion, seeing actions for what they are, not what you want them to be. A person's true nature is revealed in how they handle discomfort, power, and adversity. Do they take responsibility or shift blame? Do they welcome growth or get defensive? Marcus Aurelius said, "The happiness of your life depends upon the quality of your thoughts." If you don't control your own mind, you will be easily deceived by those who seek to manipulate, charm, or use you. Self-awareness is more than personal growth. It's a shield that protects you from harmful relationships. In today's world, where appearances are carefully curated, the ability to see through facades is crucial. People present an image they want others to believe, but their true character always emerges in stress, frustration, or setbacks. A self-aware person doesn't just listen to words, they observe behavior. They notice how someone treats those who can do nothing for them, and whether their actions match their words. Once you sharpen your self-awareness, spotting deception becomes effortless. This is one of the most valuable Stoic secrets. Wisdom isn't about assuming the best in people but seeing them as they truly are. Seneca wrote, "He who is brave is free." The courage to accept reality, no matter how uncomfortable, frees you from deceptive relationships and poor choices. Self-awareness also deepens connections with those who truly align with you. When you know yourself, you attract people who respect your values rather than exploit your weaknesses. Instead of tolerating mistreatment, you set boundaries. Instead of seeking validation from the wrong people, you cultivate inner peace and confidence. This doesn't mean being distrustful. It means approaching relationships with wisdom, not blind optimism. Life is too short to waste on people who drain your energy or pull you from your path. You deserve authenticity, but to find it in others, you must first cultivate it within yourself. The Stoics teach us to live with wisdom, see with clarity, and walk away from anything that disrupts our peace. When you develop this level of self-awareness, you stop chasing people. You start choosing them. And that choice makes all the difference. If you've made it this far in the video, I encourage you to comment, "Clarity is power," below. This simple phrase reflects one of the greatest truths of Stoicism. Self-awareness is the key to seeing the world as it truly is. By sharpening your mind, you protect yourself from deception, manipulation, and misguided relationships. Take a moment to share your thoughts. How has self-awareness helped you navigate people and situations more wisely? I appreciate you being part of this journey, and I hope these Stoic lessons empower you to move through life with wisdom and clarity. Number 3. Building relationships with authenticity. Authenticity is the bedrock of any meaningful relationship, and without it, connections crumble under the weight of pretense and self-interest. You've likely encountered people who wear masks, presenting one face in public while hiding their true nature beneath a polished exterior. But the truth always reveals itself in time. In relationships, this means that a person's true character inevitably shines through their actions, not just their words. When you build relationships based on authenticity, you attract those who respect you for who you truly are, rather than what you can offer them. It's the difference between shallow acquaintances who disappear when times get tough and real friendships that stand unwavering through life's storms. When someone is genuinely invested in your growth, they don't see your success as a threat, they celebrate it. There's no room for jealousy, no space for deceit, just mutual support and an unspoken understanding that you both want the best for each other. This is modern Stoicism in action, surrounding yourself with individuals who embody virtue, resilience, and sincerity, while distancing yourself from those who thrive on manipulation and superficiality. And the truth is, you don't need grand gestures or overanalyzed words to spot authenticity. It's evident in the small moments. The way someone reacts when you succeed, how they respond when you're struggling, and whether they show up when it matters most. Relationships should nourish the soul, not drain it. If you find yourself constantly walking on eggshells, questioning someone's intentions, or feeling like you're being used, it's a sign that the foundation isn't built on respect. Seneca once said, "Associate with people who are likely to improve you." Because at the end of the day, the people you surround yourself with influence your character, your mindset, and even your destiny. True relationships don't require masks or endless effort to maintain. They flow effortlessly, built on a foundation of honesty and shared values. This is the essence of modern Stoicism, forging bonds that uplift rather than entangle, and recognizing that authenticity is not just a virtue, it's a necessity. And there you have it, 5 powerful signs that reveal a person's true colors. By paying attention to these behaviors, you can protect your energy, build stronger relationships, and surround yourself with people who genuinely support your growth. But remember, this isn't just about observing others, it's also about self-reflection. Are you embodying the traits of a person with integrity, empathy, and emotional intelligence? True wisdom, as modern Stoicism teaches us, comes from both understanding the world around us and constantly striving to improve ourselves. The people we choose to keep close have a profound impact on our mindset, happiness, and success, so choose wisely. And if you found value in today's video, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to Stoic in Your Life. Turn on notifications so you never miss our upcoming videos, where we'll continue to uncover Stoic secrets that help you navigate life with strength and clarity. Stay mindful, stay resilient, and keep walking the path of wisdom. See you in the next video.